Here's a very positive, okay, very positive reason for Bitcoin and or other cryptos. Blockchain technology, basically. You can never ever fake or forge a blockchain transaction. Once it's on the blockchain, it's there forever, and you can't fake. Oh, I've got about 200 Litecoin. I'm gonna fake the Litecoin into making the Bitcoin network into thinking that it was Bitcoin you can't do it. You can't fake it. This is from Cointelegraph.com. Gold versus Bitcoin. $2.8 billion fake bullion scam highlights Bitcoin's benefits. You probably heard about this recently. China, once again, effing China with their fake ass cloning garbage. Remember those tungsten bars a long time ago, a few years ago we covered? With small potatoes. This one's much, much worse. A huge corruption scandal involving Chinese loans backed by fake gold is pressuring its supporters to defend it against unforgeable Bitcoin. The Bitcoin versus gold debate rages. Someone get Peter Schiff, please. Will somebody please get Peter Schiff around here and forward this video to him? Or just the link in the article for this article. The Bitcoin versus gold debate rages on this week as reports reveal fake bars fueled a $2.8 billion corruption scheme. As Chinese media outlet Zaizen reported on June 29th via Nikkei, a loan deal between Chinese financial institutions and Wuhan, what? Wuhan King Gold Jewelry, with gold as collateral, fell apart when it became known that the gold was gilded copper. Like Fat Bastard, or no, Gold member from Austin Powers. He has a gilded tallywhacker. According to Zaizen, at least some of the gold bars involved were simply copper, with the loan lenders seriously out of pocket as a result. That has left lenders holding the bag for the remaining 16 billion yuan of loans outstanding against the bogus bars, it reported. Now, I need to say something. I wish I could remember the Chinese documentary. Well, it's about China. If one of you know what it is, oh, I know that one. Put it in the comment section so people can figure this out. And everyone else give it a thumbs up so that it goes to the top of the comments. There was a documentary. Someone had said, "Oh, you gotta watch this," and I mentioned it in a video when it happened. Could have been last year, might have even been 2018. And it was about this loan type scandal where they double collateral. Like, I've got this stuff over here in a warehouse that I'm going to use as the collateral for the loan. They'd go to the bank. There's our stuff. It's right over there. And it might have even been gold, actually. I don't remember. There it is. Okay, we'll give you the loan. And then these companies that pretend to be these big manufacturing companies in China, and they've got, whenever the investors would come, they'd turn the lights on, get the forklifts going, get some trucks in here like we're moving pallets of stuff around. Then the investors would leave. All right, shut everything down. Like it was a bogus company. In the same collateral that was fake, other similar businesses were doing the same thing with the same collateral. Rehypothecating it, basically. Also getting loans. Also doing the fake, flip the light switch, all the people are coming, let's make it look like we're busy, oh, they're gone, all right, shut everything down. What the hell was the name of that documentary? Because this goes right in line with it. And if that happened, and this is happening, how much fraud and corruption is going on in China? Real numbers. I bet it's unbelievable. Astronomical. I'd be willing to bet. Continuing on. The saga is just the latest involving fake gold to engulf high-profile entities. Previously, Cointelegraph reported on allegations that gold reserves in major central banks could also be, in fact, be tainted with other metals. For Bitcoin supporters, gold's authentication problems form a major argument against investing or holding the precious metal. A survey by analyst Maddie Greenspan revealed that Bitcoin was by far the most popular choice for investment. 42% over 2,300 respondents selected it, while gold was in second place. For gold bug Peter Schiff, however, the findings said more about the mentality of Bitcoin investors than gold's integrity. Quote, this shows you that how delusional Bitcoin bugs are, he commented on Twitter. Oh, Oh, really, Peter? You can't fake. If my Exodus wallet goes cha-ching, you've got 1 Bitcoin or even a fraction of a Bitcoin. It can't be a fake Bitcoin covered in fake digital, Bitcoin, and underneath the skin is actually a shitcoin. No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way. It cannot be made as a fraud. It can't. I can't buy something with Bitcoin. Hey, Joe, I'll sell you that thing for 1 Bitcoin. All right, I'll give you a Bitcoin. And then later on, I get their asset and I send them a fake Bitcoin. There's no such thing. It can't happen. So, can't fake BTC. Schiff's perspective is nothing new, but his well-publicized ups and downs with Bitcoin have not convinced its supporters to believe in his distaste for it so far. Last week, Russia Today host Max Kaiser claimed with 100% certainty that Schiff, making a huge buy, would occur once BTC/USD hit $50,000. Summarizing the gold versus Bitcoin debate in light of the Wuhan King Gold scandal, meanwhile, Parallax Digital CEO Robert Breedlove hinted that the choice would be ultimately obvious for the market. Bitcoin is more divisible, durable, portable, recognizable, which encompasses verifiability, and scarce than gold. Bitcoin is also cheaper to safeguard and less vulnerable to theft, he wrote. This is true. And I will say this, though. Even though I know this, and you know I know this, and I know you know this. I know that you know that I know. Well, Eddie Murphy. I still would say I'd like to have some precious metals no matter what. Whether that's gold and silver, just silver, whatever. Even though I'm a Bitcoin and crypto fan, whatever, I still would like to have at least a little bit of precious metals in my portfolio somewhere. But these arguments aren't arguments. Just like you can't argue that 2 + 2 is not 4. It's always going to be 4 forever. It'll never change. And Bitcoin can never be fraudulently created, put on the network, and it didn't exist. It doesn't work that way. And many of these other cryptos, the same thing. And remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoin, right, Evelyn? Right? See, she said, yeah. She said, So, there's only 21 million. Again, like, I think Dick Algard said, you gotta, if you can, make it a goal to at least have 1 full Bitcoin in your name. You want to have altcoins and other coins, that's great, but if you just had 1 Bitcoin, because again, there's that thing called inflation and people wanting and only certain numbers of people having, and the haves not wanting to get rid of it means a scramble to get what's out there, causing the prices to explode. And again, let's not forget the stock to flow model, which I'll put up again real quick. I just did a video on this moments ago, well, a little while ago. We've got our second red dot painted for this is June, and there's July. Each of these dots represent a month, and like you can see, after blue comes red, after red comes orange and yellow, and that's when the all-time highs typically hit. So we've got a second dot. Here's the forecast, which is still in the year 2020. Again, not to say that it can't go past it and then finally go up like it has done before. But we are in a strange year with a lot of stuff going on. Banks hanging by a thread. And Penny Kelly, in her last update, look-see, which was a couple of weeks ago, she said, I every time I do one of these little look-sees, I keep seeing banks hanging by a thread. And she goes, this last recent one I did, she said, it's no longer a thread, it's hanging by a hair. It's hanging by a hair. She said, that's the next one I saw. And I thought I have to double check, but it was either July or August or even September when she was looking at that particular month. I want to say it was July, maybe August, or between July and August. Like July 15th, August 15th, because she was doing like half of the month. But at any rate, soon. And she goes, it was hanging by a thread. Now I saw for the first time hanging by a hair. And I made a comment to someone the other day, I think it was Woo Woo Friend actually, because she's like, I was told to get X amount of numbers out of the bank, cash in my pocket. Other Woo Woo people tell me, yeah, we've been feeling we need to get cash out. And I said to her, oh, with Corona and the deep state panicking and wanting the utmost chaos leading up to the election, this is the year they're going to pull out all the stops. Gosh, you heard about Chase Bank the other day, didn't you? Money missing out of people's accounts, wrong numbers in there. She goes, yeah, they said it was a glitch, but the money was returned and everything's fine now. I said, oh, yeah, I know. And then another friend of mine on Patreon said, Joe, my wife went to cash an insurance check at Regions Bank. Couldn't get in, all the lanes were closed. So I called 3 different Regions banks in the local area. None of them would pick up the phone, couldn't get anyone to answer. He goes, how strange is that? That was just a couple days ago, by the way. Both of those things. So, or a few days ago. So I thought, well, okay, it might be time for Snip to go to the bank and just grab a little bit out and sit on it, just in case. Because I said to her, Woo Woo Friend, I said, just imagine all the chaos the deep state wants right now, the virus and everything else they're trying to do to just cause people to panic, stay in fear, and just cause people out in the streets and all this stuff to riot and cause problems. Imagine the debit card system has an issue. The banks have an issue. You can't swipe your card. Everybody loves to just carry their card, hardly any cash on them. The banks these days hardly have any cash on them to give you when you want to pull it out of the bank. And you know how it goes, just like when the virus came out and the toilet paper ran off the shelves and all that stupid stuff ran off the shelves. Empty water, empty toilet paper. Oh no, you're a day late and $1 short, weren't you? What do you think it would be like going to the bank asking for money, your own money, of course, your own money, out of the bank, and them telling you, well, we don't have that kind of money here. We've got to put an order in with the Fed. And there's a ton of people at that one branch, and every other branch too, waiting to do the same thing, being told, we're all out of money for the day. The first 5 people clean this out. We're all out of money for the day. We've got an order in at the Fed. And the Fed, do you think the Fed has enough paper cash to fill all the banks up so that people can go buy groceries and things they need while the banking glitch is dealt with? Assuming there's a banking glitch, of course. If you're first there, like as in today, tomorrow, the next day, you can get your money. If this thing happens, and I'm not saying I know it will or won't, it's an insurance policy. You can go to the grocery store, matter of fact, get groceries way before everybody else because there's probably be hardly anyone in there because their debit cards ain't working. They're all going to be at the banks pissed off, fighting and breaking the doors down probably to, try to get in the bank. Give me my money. While I'm at the grocery store all by my lonesome, picking up everything, buy one, get one, thank you. Oh, gosh, which line should I get in? Which one's the shortest? Oh, they're all short. No one's here. I'll just go in the first one. Oh, yes, I do have cash. Yes, ma'am. I do have cash. And by the way, if you don't have change, it's okay. I'll round off. You can keep the change. My Patreons are taking care of this one for you. Thank you. Tell Publix CEO, thank you. Appreciate him. This one's a bonus for you. You need the change, you keep it yourself. Maybe you need it. You need to buy groceries after this? But the change may not help you, but you know what? Here's a couple bucks. Go buy yourself some groceries. Of course, if the grocery store had its own employees having problems, obviously the grocery store would not make them pay. Like, guys, here's an IOU. Write down what you want. And when the stuff comes back online, we'll get the money from you. But being JSNIP for, you need a little bailout, you need a little help. Let me help you out. So, anyways, I'm kind of making that up, obviously, just jokingly, but this could happen. And she was saying, she goes, Joe, didn't I have an entry in that one little chart thing we updated? Yeah, yes, you did. You said 2 to 3 days, you felt like the banks could be shut down. So if the banks are shut down, and Donald Trump knew this was coming, again, he knows everything in advance, knows their games, and has the new treasury system already out there, already plush full of cash, money, debit cards, whatever it is. Or maybe your debit card just ends up working somehow. They'll need a few days to swap the banking system, basically, to the new one, the treasury one. And there was one thing called Treasury Anon that came out in like May that I just read again recently. My friend was showing me it last night. And as I read some of it, I was like, I think I did see this when it came out. But the guy said You'll know in 6 weeks when you start to see the price of gold go over 3,000 and silver go over $60. You'll know it's getting close to the going on the new system. That has to happen first. Well, that hasn't happened. Although we did break $1,800 a day or two ago. First time since the last time of $1,900 gold. That was interesting. So when that comes unglued from the corrupt system, the price starts to go, they said that's the sign to let you know the new treasury system is about to come online. I don't know. I can't vouch for it, but I will tell you that story just because. Keep it in the back of your mind. So I got my cash out today, earlier. I think I've got enough to deal with, honestly, 2 or 3 months worth of crap. You know, I'm not worried about my mortgage not working or going through any of that crap. I'd only be worried about, I need gasoline for the cars. Because I do have a Honda Pilot. My wife has a Chrysler Town & Country. And grocery store, this, that, whatever. That kind of thing. So, anyways, I just want to share that stuff with you. Take care.